No, for real. Yeah, I'ma wait. I'm sitting here. Struggle real cause I'm new and it's truth. Had to change my ways and the things that I do. The world start tripping when you start wearing fringes. Your friends go missing and your fam won't listen. They say that I changed cause I'm doing things different. Instead of following the pastor, prefer to follow scriptures. Tired of being attentive to opinions. If you insert into the word, you are sinning. Telling me how this world works with no chapter or verse. I done did bad, I ain't trying to do worse. But sir, you can do whatever you like. I prefer to follow these books and wait on Christ. And it's a battle each day. Gotta read his word and do what it say. Make sure I don't sin. Matthew 24:13 and do it to the end. I pray that my family's great. Be in one accord with his word one day. Until you come back to this place, I'm gonna spread your word and do it and wait. And wait, yeah, do it and wait, do it and wait, yeah, do it and wait, and do it and wait, 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 yeah. And I ain't doing things my way. I'ma wait like a line on Black Friday, or like a cashier when it's closing time, or like the last day in the voting line. Technology's so advanced, but we so behind. Closed off to people with an open mind. I can read red letter and they say I'm lying. I know it's bad, but at times I get tired of trying. I be trying to force them to see. In reality, just the past year, they was me. But the best way to help them understand it, seeing my actions, following these commandments. It's a battle each day. Gotta read his word and do what it say. Make sure I don't sin. Matthew 24:13 and do it to the end. I pray that my family's great. Be in one accord with his word one day. Until you come back to this place, I'm gonna spread your word and do it and wait. And wait, yeah, do it and wait, do it and wait, yeah, do it and wait, and do it and wait, do it and wait, do it and wait, do it and wait, do it and wait.
Yeah. What you cooking?
Yeah. This one probably got the angel jamming in the chairs. You call him Jesus, I call him Yahweh Shah. It don't come from the script, it's hella Yaliyah. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Big Jews in the name and they scared of us. Break bread with the heathen, I'd rather not. China want war, Russia want war. Babylon, see your time is running out. Yeah, I done read Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel. I feel like I'ma see the King David. I've been cursed since birth, hung with the wrong niggas, uncircumcised. I ate from the wrong table. Was confused before, ain't read the script, and you could tell. I swore it was all fake till I realized how history disappeared. It was coded by a world that won't save you. Yahweh gon' make sure we get it. Lord willing, I get it. Lord willing, I see the day. That's why I ain't trimming on my beard, just trimming on these beards with these fringes on my waist. I don't care about images, just care about building up endurance through my faith. I don't care about images, I just care about building up endurance through my faith. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me. I am thine, save me. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me. I am thine, save me.
I will never forget thy precepts, oh no, no. Oh, no. Most High willing, I keep that frame of thought. And that's most High willing. Everyday battling flesh, getting ready for the war. That's why I gotta repent, pray fast, move on. I am thine, save me, because thine enemies make a tumult, planning schemes. That's why the world waxing weak, gave up the world and the we to serve the Lord as my King. We got the faith, yeah, we believe. Soon Sooner than later, you gon' see. Every eye shall see, every knee shall bow. God has power. If you fit the curses in Deuteronomy well, that power is ours. Time is running out if you rain on the boat like the days of Noah. 2 Peter 3:6. Go to 7. Work out your salvation. Gave me the precepts. I pray that I live by them. Running this race. Pray I'm enduring to the end. Pray I'm enduring to the end. Work out your salvation. Gave me the precepts. I pray that I live by them. Running this race. Pray I'm enduring to the end. Pray I'm enduring to the end.
Captain Yahweh, I'm coming with the verse of the day. We are going to be in the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed." And so we got to understand that, hey, the Most High could have destroyed us, right? Because of all the wickedness that we've done, all of the things that we've been into since we made the covenant, since our forefathers made the covenant with him at the bottom of Mount Sinai. Right, we've gone off into idolatry, we fought after other gods, but because the Lord had made a promise with Abraham, he said he changed not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So we got to be thankful that the Most High has not done away with us, that he has not gotten rid of us, even though we deserve it. We deserve death, we deserve destruction, but all praise to the Most High that he does not change. And with that, I'm Captain Yahweh. Shalom.
AHOS.
Shalom, Yasha Allah. This is your Akasagi with the Anointed House of Saints, coming to you with the verse of the day. And it reads, this is 1 Samuel 15 and 22. And Samuel said, "Has Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams." The Most High always wanted you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. He never wanted those sin sacrifices. He always wanted you to be obedient. Right? That's how you cleave to the Most High God. Kal halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is the Anointed House of Saints. Shalom.
AHOS.
Brother Aharon from Anointed House of Saints. I'm here to bring you the scripture of the day. I'm in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 19. "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name." Listen, Jacob, who is the progenitor of the Israelites, is not like anybody else. The people that come from Jacob, who are the Israelites, are not like anybody else on this earth. And we are the Most High God's inheritance. We belong to him. We are his chosen people now and forever. That will never end. So us who are the Israelites need to remember that. Keep pushing forward to be better, to be closer to the Most High God, man. Make this chance that we have count. And with that, shalom.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Brother, Jonathan got bars, man. He got bars. But he always making slow music, man. I want to pray to his music and meditate. You can't get hyped, man. Sometimes I want to get hyped for the Lord. Come on, man.
Blood on the post, 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 keeping them close. Man, we got Frenches and seats on the clothes. Me and my brothers ain't sleeping. We reading the secrets. The deepest you've been is the ocean. Now we been swimming in waters that's deeper than rivers. The Jordan, we creeping up on them. It's the 14th of the month. Bone Thugs one day late for the show. Oh. Ain't never been out, ever since Red Pen Pals. You too late, you let them in now. We like veterans, niggas that's power. These secrets only come through steady, no regrets. We walk through water like Jesus. We raising the dead, you see this. Look at this evening pose. Blood on the post, 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 Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
We holding posts, chopping up doctors that ain't coming close. They had them through strikes. I found one in Franco, where Rochelle toast. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. This water is knocking down wicked Pharaoh. Can't swim through the sea, man, that fan was too slow. Pharaoh was double-minded, think he can and go. Escape on a starry night, Victor Van Gogh. Living good unchained like Quincy Django. Sharpers down in the hood, now they wanna tango. Death angels coming close, so watch your back, bro. Watch your back, bro. We grilling that lamb, we gon' eat that. That better, bitter herb, we gon' eat that. Doing this till you how I come and see that. We that. Oh.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
The Pesach and Nissan. We found faith in Misraim. We got to be strong. Walking through water, pray we don't sing. Strapped up, boots tight. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. 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 Walking up right, we see that.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post.
All right, let's hold on the other you said
Shalom, 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 Israel. Welcome back to another Milk Monday. It's another Milk Mondays. I am Officer Knock. I'm also joined with Captain All. He'll be with us shortly. But we got tonight's class titled. Matter of fact, let me get the title. I had it up here. Salakia, let me get the title real quick for tonight's class. And it is, and I don't know why I ain't got it sitting here in front of me. It says, "Can you marry heathens?" Right? Ill-advised or forbidden. So Captain is going to come with us with this lesson today. But before we get started, we want to first give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. I want to thank everyone for being diligent, always coming to class, preparing yourself, studying, showing yourself approved unto God, right? So that's what we're here to do. We're here to edify and teach our people as to who they are and coming back to the commandments of the Most High God. So we want to be thankful and all praises to the Most High for that. But let me go ahead and get some announcements going, and we'll bring Captain on here in a second. Any brothers who are wanting to put their brick in, right, and do the work with Anointed House of Saints, you can do that by sending us your request through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, please let us know that you want to be, or actually you can just type prospect phase, and we'll get that information to you as to when the next prospect phase will be starting. I do know that we'll be starting a new prospect phase coming this new year. Coming in.
Yeah, it'll be the end of the month.
Oh, God. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just say January. Yeah. So we'll be finalized with everything by the end of the month. We'll be going into it in January. So y'all be ready for that. Make sure that you're
all praises. So yeah, so any brothers want to put the brick in, do so. Send us an email. We'll get that information to you. Also, let me go ahead and pull up calendar of events coming up, because we do have another feast day coming up, right? So just so we can remind everyone, we do have Feast of Dedication that will be coming up, right? That's the next feast day that will be taking place on December 26th for the 2024 calendar. We will be gathering together in Greensboro, North Carolina at the school. So if anyone wants to attend, please send us an email. Let us know, because we need to be able to account for those being there at the school.
for food and things like that. So please let us know if you want to attend and you want to gather for the Feast of Dedication with the Anointed House of Saints. Please let us know by email, or you can contact, by email. We also have our new moon. New moon coming up for the 10th month. I almost said it wrong, right? December 30th, that's coming up, right? So we're going to prepare for that, have a class for that also. Looking forward for people to be a part of that. Let's see, anything else? Also, we also have, I guess we can go ahead and announce that we will be having our 2025 Feast of Passover. This will be taking place on April 11th through the 13th, right? I believe that's a Friday. If I'm incorrect, Kevin, you can correct me on that. But it will be taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. We will be back in Atlanta, Georgia again for 2025 Anointed House of Saints Feast of Passover in Atlanta.
What day did you say? You said the 13th?
11th through the 13th.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, 11th.
Okay. I may have said that, Salakia. Yes, the 11th through the 13th. I believe that's a Friday. So it's like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that kind of works out pretty nice. For those who may be traveling from a long distance, right? So if anyone wants to participate and want to be a part of that, please let us know. Email us, anointedhos@gmail.com. I don't have anything else to give other than shout outs, unless you just want to go ahead and get started.
It's up to you, brother. If you want to shout them out, shout
Okay,
them out.
I haven't done it in a while, so let me go ahead and do that. We don't have too many people in the room, so I guess I can go ahead and shout out our peoples, right? And as always, want to give a mighty shalom to our sister Yahana Israel. All right, that's right. She got her new name. All praises to John Gilchrist, the sister Yahana. All praises for that. Good to see you, sis. Also, shalom to Sister Malka. Shalom to you, sis. Shalom to Sister Charlia. Shalom, sis. Shalom to Sister Jayla. Shalom. Shalom to that mighty brother HOS Nadia. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to Sister Hadassah. Shalom to you, sis. House of Yawasap. Shalom to Rose, the young lion, and shalom, Sister Rose. Always good to see you. That mighty, mighty officer Boaz. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom. Shalom to Sister Laura Harris. Shalom to Sister Abaya the Humble. Shalom to you, sis. Good to see you. Shalom to Akmat Moshe. Shalom to Magan. Salaki, if I messed that up. Anyone else that comes in, wants to put something in the chat, I'll shout you out at the end of class. But other than that, we're going to get started. Again, the class today is, can you marry heathens? Is it ill-advised or forbidden? We going to find out. All right, all yours. Okay.
All right. My computer doing that crazy stuff, so don't worry. I get my update tonight, so I should be straight. But today's class, right? We don't have no videos today. It's gonna be solely scriptural based. Solo scriptural, right? But main reason we're doing this class is because there's new brothers coming into the truth that have mainly dealt with a lot of I guess heathen in the world, and they want to know why we can't deal with heathen when we're in the truth, especially if the earth was made for our sakes and all that type of stuff, right? So let this be a lesson for your sons and your daughters, right? We're gonna be talking from the male perspective, obviously, because I'm a boy, but you could teach the same stuff to your girls and give it a little bit more emphasis, because if they're to get with somebody of the opposite sex and have children with them, those children would be heathen, right? Or not opposite sex, I just say a different race, right? Because you want them to get with somebody of the opposite sex, no matter what their race is. But if they get with somebody of the opposite, or of a different race, as they call it today, right? Different nationality, as the Bible will call it, then those, children, that union, and the leader of such would be a heathen, right? So that's from the female perspective. Your hedge would end up being somebody that can't really protect you in the last day, right? Which means them scriptures in Isaiah and Jeremiah that talk about, y'all joining hand to hand, but the wicked gonna be unpunished. And though, basically y'all gonna be thrust through, right? For joining hand to hand with them. So it's gonna be a lot of sisters that are married to these heathen that end up in that situation by default, right? On the flip side, for the men, this is mainly for y'all as far as where we're gonna be coming from with the lesson, but it's still gonna make sense because there's a lot of guys in the truth now that are coming into the truth that'll say, like, you know, well, the black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman, she's still wicked. You know, they still don't do what you ask them to do. They still talk back, even when they in the truth. They still cheat. They still disobedient. They still scream, yell, try to fight you and bite you, right? So it's like, then they follow that up with, especially on Facebook, the keyboard elites are known for this, right? They'll follow it up with, I might as well just get me a white girl. You know what I'm saying? Though that's not good, there were certain scriptures that people were bringing out to say, hey, you shouldn't do that because of this. And the scriptures they were bringing out were wrong. So it led me to want to bring this class out to teach you guys, right? There are scriptures to prove that we shouldn't, or that it's not expedient to get with women of the other nations, no matter what nation they are, right? Whether it was strictly forbidden or verbatim forbidden or not. You know what I'm saying? So, but the scriptures that y'all use typically, especially you keyboard elites, to prove this fact are the wrong scriptures, right? When y'all go to Deuteronomy 7 to tell a brother that he can't get with an Edomite, and Edomite ain't nowhere in Deuteronomy 7, it's one of the nations that they're supposed to not deal with, you have an issue there, right? So I want to give you guys the breakdown. I know y'all be going Clubhouse talking that too, and y'all be, you know, Deuteronomy 7 and tell you the nations that we weren't supposed to get with. And then it's a whole bunch of nations missing that niggas like nowadays. You don't know who the hell a Hittite is. You know what a Hittite is right now? What nation they is? Because I don't. I like history. I don't know who the hell the Hittites are right now. I ain't looking for them either. Because most I said we ain't supposed to deal with them, right? I don't want to see who they are. Well, actually, scratch that. We probably should know who the hell they are so we know we're not supposed to get with them, right? So somebody find out who the hell a Hittite is. But aside from that, right? Like, our people are going for the Arabs. They're going for the East Indians. They're going for the Asian women. They love them some Ming Yao and Ling Ling, right? Because they be obedient, right? Brothers going for Filipino women and the white girls, of course, right? The blonde and beyond. So, unfortunately, we have to do this class because there's brothers that are coming into the truth, like I said, that are used to dealing with those type of women in the world and have issues when they're told by their camps or people that they're dealing with as far as whatever congregation or their friends that are bringing them into the truth. Once they start frowning at them for dealing with a heathen, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? So this is just a lesson to explain why. Now, that's not to say, and this lesson is not to say if you're already with somebody that is not of the Israelite nation, right? Say you're already married and all that type of stuff. This is not to say that you should not be with them, that you should divorce them or something like that because you already started a family and it was before that. I'm not telling you to do that, right? If the Most High leads it to happen and it is what it is, he, you know what I'm saying? Man's going to the Lord. Don't fight it. But if it happened, right, and the Most High has made it so that she's eager to do it with you, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Do what you got to do, right? Now, if you could get another wife at the same time, that make it even better, especially if you can make it a woman of the, you know, Israelite nations. That way you can actually protect one of your sisters, right? As opposed to just being a hedge of protection for a heathen woman, right? That ain't really going to do you no good in the end times anyway, because she going to be a slizave, okay? If she even make it that far. So, let's get into it. Sirach chapter 26, verse 20. Get your Bibles ready, pens and pads. This ain't going to be a, you know, old school, typical Milk Monday. It's going to be old school Milk Monday before the videos. So, we're going to get some scriptures to give you guys the correct answers for disproving why brothers shouldn't be with, you know, or disproving why brothers shouldn't be with heathen. So Sirach 26:20. And you're on mute when you're ready.
God, let me get Sirach chapter 20.
26.
God, Sirach chapter 20 and verse 26 and verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
So this is the first thing that we're gonna talk about, right? The objective when it comes to choosing a wife. Okay, for a man, this should be your first objective, right? First law that we were given in the garden was be fruitful and multiply. So when you get a wife, regardless of what anybody else is saying, right? This should be something that you think about.
Yeah.
What type of children you're gonna be able to have with this woman? Is she healthy? You're gonna have healthy, right? What the kid's gonna look like. I mean, so all that type of stuff. I mean, you gotta think, right? Or at least what I thought about. The way my family's made up, because I'm Northern Kingdom, right? I got some light-skinned people in my family. There's certain people in my family, not all of them, but certain ones that have gotten with white people where the baby look white, right? And there's certain ones that have gotten with white people and the child still look black. So it's like my parents always told me and my brother from young, yo, you get with a white woman, it's possible your baby might not even look like your kid. So that always scared me growing up. I was like, I ain't never want to be with no white girl because of that, just because of what I seen people in my family could do if they get with one of them, right? So like that Steph Curry, you know, what's that? Patrick Mahomes, you know, Blake Griffin type stuff. You know what I mean? So not that damn white. Well, I got one cousin that's like that. One named Mark. But other than him, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So that's how that goes, right? But there's other brothers that like that. They always wanted that because of the way they grew up in the world, you know, with the hate for black people and stuff like that. If they can have a kid that look like Patrick or even Steph Curry, they're gonna be happy as hell, right? So this is also something to show you. A child like that is something I would think about. Me being me, right? Especially being in the truth now. We talk about skin cancer and stuff, right? Well, you know, even though a light-skinned dude might have a black daddy, he still could get sunburned. Blake Griffin got to wear, you know, sunscreen when he go outside. When he going to Walt Disney World, if he don't put enough suntan lotion on, he's going to turn red, even though he got a black pops, right? So it's like those things you got to think about. His son could end up with skin cancer at some point. You know what I mean? That ain't something that I would want to deal with. So that's just, you know, probably a little bit extreme to some of y'all, but that's the type of stuff that I would think about. Just me being me, right? So it's telling you here in Sirach chapter 26 to, you know, trust in your seed. When you find a good thing, sow it, right? Put a baby in it. So Numbers chapter 1 and 18. Just to prove, right? No matter what the baby look like. And I'm not saying this scriptures to say you can find a heathen and it be a good thing. That ain't what I'm saying. I'll get to what I'm saying once we finish bringing this out. And I'm not saying that if you find a heathen, it can't be a good thing. Because I'm not saying that either. There are brothers that found heathen and they had, you know, good relationships with them. Even in the Bible, we will pull some of those out, right? So this is a lesson that's going to basically teach you both sides of the spectrum. But the main side it's going to teach you is why we teach against it, especially in this time, right? So go ahead. Numbers 1 and 18.
God, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
Hey, first fruits, I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to ask you a question. So were Moses' sons polluted? It's a yes or no. Instead of fight you, I'm going to ask you a yay or nay. Please answer it with that, if you will. I don't know if Knock froze or if I froze. Can y'all put a 7 in the chat if I'm still here? Let me see what's going on. Okay, so it's him, not me. All right, bet. So Moses' sons were polluted. That's what you're saying, first fruits? Moses had a polluted seed. I bet. Thank y'all. So first fruits, Moses had a polluted seed? I saw the yes. I'm just making sure that was your answer before we bring out what we're going to bring out so that the crowd knows that you're an idiot. This is why Aaron's son carried the priesthood, not Moses' sons. Or was it for a different reason? Or was it for a different reason? Let me ask you this. Is Ruth a Moabite or is Ruth an Israelite? I'll read what I want to read on my channel, sir. Answer my question since you came into the chat. Cool. No, scratch that. We're going to teach the lesson. Maybe he'll get it afterward. Knock lost his internet connection, so we're going to have to go ahead and push through it. So, yeah. Sow a good seed when you find a good seed, right? When you find something to sow it with. Or when you find a good seed, sow it with what you're supposed to sow it with. Hold on a second. Let me pull these precepts up since he's gone now because he had all my precepts pulled up for me.
So good to see you.
Oh, he's back. Oh, shit.
Back. Salaki. I don't know what happened.
All right, cool.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6.
God. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 6.
So, why does who we marry matter? Right? Go ahead.
Con. This is Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Mm-hmm. So, this nation is a wise and understanding people, right? That's what they're supposed to say about us. These nations that we're supposed to come about, right? So, that being the case, the people that we're supposed to be, learning from us, so to speak, weren't supposed to be with us off top. And this people that we're talking about in this verse right here in Deuteronomy chapter 4, it's mainly speaking about the people we're going to read about in Deuteronomy 7 that we're supposed to kick out of the land and not make marriages with, because they were the ones immediately in the land with us, right? First fruits. It don't matter what you post, bro. I have a lesson I'm teaching. We're not going to read nothing you're posting. It ain't in my lesson. Okay? The lesson is not about why you think Aaron's sons carried the priesthood and why you think Moses' sons were counted unclean or polluted, but they were still counted as Levites, which wouldn't make any sense. If they were polluted, they wouldn't have been counted as Levites in the book of First Chronicles, which we're going to prove in a little bit. So it doesn't make sense. That in itself would be a contradiction, right? There would have been a mamzer not allowed to come into the congregation if that was the case, if your definition was correct, right? Duck monkey, last fruit, no fruit. I don't know what to call you, but you can post what you want, right? If you post a little too much, I'm going to have them put you in timeout because it's going to distract me. But nothing you post is going to get read. I'm telling you that now because I have a lesson. We're going to prove what I'm going to prove in the lesson, right? You want to prove why you think Aaron's sons got the priesthood and Moses' sons are polluted, like, even though the Bible don't say that? You can teach your own lesson, all right? Shalom. If you stick around, I'll answer it at the end. You'll have the answer within the lesson. So, yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6 to 8. Go ahead, get that for me again, please.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
Right. So that's what the nation is, like I said, that we were coming about, that we're going to read about in Deuteronomy chapter 7. That's what they were supposed to say about us. We weren't supposed to be getting with these people, mainly because a king or, queen, if you guys want to say that, right? Just for lack of better words. They're not supposed to deal with their subjects, right? Subjects are supposed to look up to you. They're not supposed to be made in a situation where they could be equal to you. If you're somebody who's coming into a land and you're of a king status, you're a foreign ruler or something like that, right? You're not going to be in a situation where, or you're not going to want to be in a situation where the people that you're coming in to rule over could somehow feel that they're equal to you, right? One way that happens is if you bring somebody from their nation, to wife or to wed with you, right? Those people instantly have a connection to the throne at that point. So anybody in her family, anybody connected to her can make themselves equal or connected to the throne, right? Which could give themselves some type of power. So that being the case, right? That's one of the reasons why it causes a power struggle. It's very easy to cause a power struggle. We actually had an example of that in the book of Esther, right? When she made it into the throne, it was easy to cause a power struggle within the nation, and we saw that happen, right? So those are the type of things that the Most High wanted us to stray away from. Also, a big part of that is the main thing that we're going to be going into in this lesson. You get with these foreign women, they can do what they did with Solomon, right? Even with all his wisdom and everything he knew and everything he left for us, they were still able to pull him away and lead him into sin through their idolatry, right? So these women, if they're not in the spirit of Ruth, right? If they're not willing to do what it says in Deuteronomy 21 and 12, shave their nails and their head and, make our God their God, then it basically becomes easy for them to teach your kid, right? Whatever they want to teach them. And it's very possible that whatever they teach your children isn't going to be aligned with what the scriptures say, right? We see examples of that happening with Solomon. We see examples of that happening in the book of Nehemiah and the book of Ezra specifically, right? And by the time we get to Tobit's explaining to us that, beware of all whoredom, my son. Chiefly get of a woman of your tribe. Because by that point, it's like, it's no point in even dealing with the nations. So this lesson is basically going to give you guys the rundown on how we get from one place to the other. How brothers like Moses, contrary to first fruits stupid ass belief, is able to get with, a Cushite woman who is a heathen, and his children be not seen as polluted, but be seen as clean and be reckoned as Levites in the book verbatim, right? So we see that happen with him and a bunch of other people that we could name, right? We see Hamashiach Yahushua comes from a union between a Moabite, Moabitess, right? And a brother from Judah. Doesn't matter because it's about the seed of the father, which is why we brought out Numbers 1 and 18, right? So the mother seed doesn't matter because the mother didn't have a seed, right? First fruit. So, yeah, the egg doesn't determine what's going to come out, right? Just like the soil that you plant your seed in for your fruit or your tree or whatever you're planting into the ground. The soil doesn't determine what that fruit's gonna taste like. It doesn't determine what it's gonna look like. It doesn't determine you know what I'm saying? Any of that type of stuff. It's gonna determine how well it cultivates, how fast it happens. If you're gonna have a bunch of them be able to be nurtured within the soil based on how good your soil is and how well it is for the climate that you live in. I'm an agronomist, so I know. Do this for a living. So it's like, you know, but the soil isn't going to tell you, or it's not going to determine the DNA or the actual ethnicity of the seed, the seedling that pops up out the ground, right? And it's the same thing with the mother. Contrary to popular belief, the egg isn't going to determine what the ethnicity of the child is. It's the equivalent to soil for something that you plant in the ground. It's the seed that determines that. The seed is what determines the pedigree. So when you hear Israelites like first fruits make those arguments, right? They're usually also the idiots that think mamzer means somebody with a foreign mother, right? As opposed to, you know, an incest child, which would be the reasons why in Deuteronomy 3, you know, that Ammon and Moab aren't allowed in the congregation, right? It's because of the way they were conceived. So it talks about that, and then it mentions them right afterwards. So, you know, a little sidebar, but it went with the program. So y'all got it. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6. Let's get into that now. More reasons why it does matter who you marry, because the woman that you marry is going to be responsible for doing these things, right? So if you marry a foreign woman, you have to understand she's going to be responsible for these things. And whatever her foreign parents taught her, mainly her foreign mother, right? Those are the things that she's going to remember to teach your children. If those things don't align with the Bible, you're going to have to deal with that, right? Especially if you're coming into the truth. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, right? If you can make those things align with the Bible, and she's not somebody you're not supposed to be with, according to Deuteronomy 7, then it is what it is, right? Man's going to the Lord. But you don't want to deal with that if you could choose not to deal with that. And I'm going to show you why. Go ahead, read that. Deuteronomy 6 and 6. Read the verse 9.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, and starting with verse 6. And these words, which I command thee this day, shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk
Sticks
of
and
them.
stones shall break your bones, but words shall never fight you, brother. That ain't a fight. Just words. Go ahead.
God. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates.
So these things, right? The law, statutes, commandments that we're supposed to write upon the post of our gates, that was supposed to be taught to our children. You know what I'm saying? While you eating at the table day and night, you're supposed to be recalling everything. You know, hey son, what you learned today? Nah, I ain't talking about what that crap you learned in that white folks school. What you learned about the scriptures, fool? You know what I'm saying? That's the type of conversation you're supposed to be having at the table. Well, I mean, you could ask them about school too, if they had a, you know, a public school or something like that, and you in captivity. But the point is, that's what you're supposed to really be making them recall, right? The scriptures, the law, statutes, and commandments. Make sure that they're in line with the Most High. If they're in line with the Most High, it'll be easy for them to fall in line with Esau's crap, right? So, I mean, it really naturally just gonna happen like that. So, he said there was no issue of mixing, only following God's. Exactly, right? And we're gonna prove that. See, Dominic understands. Brothers just don't get it. I don't know why. It's not that hard of a concept, bro. Like he told you the nation specifically not to get with, right? And then we see while he's telling us, the brother who's telling us not to get with these nations, the brother telling us not to get with these nations is with a heathen. You guys understand that, right? So it wasn't a problem with mixing. Y'all have to put that in perspective, okay? We ain't talking about Solomon here, duck monkey. We talking about the man that was there before Solomon that actually gave the law that Solomon followed, homie. He was with a heathen, a Cushite, huh? Ethiopian, Somalian, something like that. We talking about him, not Solomon. Was Rehoboam polluted? Did it say he was a polluted seed, or did it call him damn near the most handsome brother in Israel? Make it make sense, bro. Why everybody you say polluted don't have the word polluted next to their name in the Bible? It calls them Levites or tribe of Judah, son of Solomon. Like, nigga, what are you talking about? How come David's sons wasn't polluted, but Solomon's sons is polluted? I don't understand it. Make it make sense. Moses' sons is reckoned as Levites in the Bible. I ain't never heard of no polluted Levite, especially during the time of the Most High dealing with us. There was a brother who was connected to Levi on his mama's side, right? He was put to death. So it's like, bro, some of y'all have to make it make sense. How is it that Moses was with a heathen? He's able to give us the law and tell us specific nations not to get with, and nobody punished him for being with a heathen. In fact, when his sister tried to speak on him being with the heathen, she got turned into a heathen. Figuratively speaking. Right? Based upon the skin complexion. Back in that time period, wasn't that many Steph Currys walking around of our nation. Now, I mean, wasn't a whole lot of Blake Griffins yet. So for Miriam to look like that was an anomaly. You feel me? There's a reason why leprosy had to be put in the book of Leviticus as clean and unclean, because it wasn't a natural thing for us to be light skinned at that time. Not like that. Not light skinned with yellow hair, nigga. Blue eyes. So that's what we're talking about here, right? You keep mentioning Ecclesiastes 47. We ain't talking about Ecclesiastes 47. You ain't mentioned nothing specific in Ecclesiastes 47. Talking about the whole chapter of Ecclesiastes 47. No, nothing in the Bible is wrong. Solomon didn't pollute his seed. You can't pollute your seed as an Israelite, per se. Right? What he did was he allowed the women that he was making seed with pollute him. Therefore, they polluted his seed mentally. Right? The same way they were able to make him go off, his children went off. The same way his children went off, the whole nation went off. You idiot. You ain't read what we said in Sirach 26? How come Sirach 26 says that we have good seed, trust in thy seed, but then you say that Sirach 47 is telling us that Solomon polluted his seed? That would be a contradiction by Sirach. You duck monkey. That means you don't understand what Sirach 47 is saying. Read Sirach 26, since you're telling me to read Sirach 47. And then tell me why you have a discrepancy, but nobody else does. All right? All right. Now, let's get a 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 15.
God, it's the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 15. And it reads, Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord.
So look, the mother It's telling the mother to raise up the children. He's chosen thee, right? So, if you choose a foreign woman, she's responsible for raising your kids. Whatever she was taught while she was being raised, that's what she's going to teach him. If Ling Ling was taught the ABCs in Mandarin, guess what? Your son going to be named Aharon. Sorry, Aharon. It's right there. I had to do it. Like it say Aharon, and then it say Aaron J under it. I had to do it. Hey, Shalom here. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't resist. So if your son named Aharon, right? And you married a Moabite, she trying to teach the boy Chinese how to do his ABCs in Chinese, Mandarin and everything like that. He's speaking that. Instead of saying Tawada, he's saying Shishani. That's what Nehemiah was talking about. Your kids couldn't even pray to the Most High, because back then we wasn't talking to him with stammering lips and another tongue. We were speaking to him in Hebrew, but your kids were speaking with stammering lips and another tongue. And we were like, what the hell is this? Right? Eventually, enough of us did it to where now we have to be spoken with stammering lips and another tongue amongst the temple, because it's so many of y'all that got women teaching y'all kids how to speak and they don't speak Hebrew. So that's an issue too, right? You got to put that in perspective. If you're going to give it a foreign woman, she's going to be teaching your kids. So she may not teach them, no matter what you teach her. She may not teach them according to the Bible. She may have to use the excuse multiple times. She forgot. Oh, no, I forget. My bad. I forget. I want a chocolate, man. Right? That's how they do it. Yeah, when you have a seed that, I didn't say mentally polluted seed. You said, polluted seed. I said that the seed was polluted because of the same way he was polluted, right? His seed was polluted the same way he was polluted. He was polluted mentally, right? The scriptures I'm bringing out, if you've been paying attention, first fruits, I see you ain't very smart. I just brought up a scripture in 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 15, that talked about the woman raising the children, right? Moses told us in Deuteronomy 6, which we read before that the women, and the men, mainly the women though, should be teaching the children these things, right? Day and night. You feel me? So we went over those scriptures for a reason, sir or ma'am, whatever you are. I'm assuming you're a sir though, because of how, argumentative you are. So yeah. And how much you don't listen, right? So, the mentally polluted part was Solomon, right? His seed didn't get polluted. You can't pollute an Israelite seed. Otherwise, Sirach 26, which I see you didn't go read, would have been lying. It would have been a contradiction, right? So obviously, it's talking about a seed being polluted the same way Solomon was polluted, which was mentally. If the children are, yeah, right, a female trait, ain't it? I'm just saying. But I think it's a dude. So like the women that are teaching these things to Solomon's children were strong enough to pollute Solomon himself and make him go off. Why the hell do you think the children are going to be doing different than the daddy? You think Solomon was going off and the kids was just, keeping the law? Are you an idiot? You that stupid, first fruits? Damn. So yeah, it would be mentally polluted, sir. And it's speaking in reference to the seed. Yes. The same way he was mentally polluted, sir. His seed didn't get messed up. Otherwise, Christ shouldn't be somebody that comes from the line of David and Solomon, because his seed's polluted, right? You idiot. Come on, make it make sense. Y'all niggas sound stupid. Proverbs 1:8. Bruh,
God,
thank
this
you.
book-
He doesn't understand it. We're trying to teach the lesson. So world without end. Thank you for putting it in writing form, because apparently the words coming out of my mouth he don't understand. Like Jackie Chan, huh? Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, And forsake not the law of thy mother.
Forsake not the seed of thy mother.
And forsake not the law of thy mother.
Why? Because the mother tells you things. She teaches you stuff, right? It's telling you not to forsake the law of your mother. This law doesn't change if you get with a heathen woman, first fruits. You still supposed to listen to what your mama say if your daddy dumb enough to get with a white girl? Huh? No offense to y'all that did that. You still supposed to do what your mama say if your daddy dumb enough to get with a Moabite. No offense to y'all that did that. Hamite, Ishmael, all of them, right? You still got to listen to mama. If she a stinking, dirty, hairy-ass Elamite, no offense to y'all that did that. But if she is, you still got to listen to mama. When she raises her eyebrows up and they go up at the same time because they connected, you still got to listen to mama. Right? So it's like, yo, be honest. So if that's the case, whatever mama tell you, you got to listen to. If mama tells you when daddy's home, read the Bible. When daddy's gone, Krishna, Krishna, Har, Krishna. You know what I mean? Then the baby going to be doing that when daddy gone. Because that's what mama told him to do.
Right.
Okay? So that's how you pollute your seed. It ain't because what you put it in actually polluted it when it came out. No, it's what she gonna be teaching it. Right? Give me Exodus 34:16. We even learned this in Exodus. Why? Because we was just leaving people that would have polluted the seed. How? Not a physical pollution. It can't be that, because the Most High allowed some of them to come with us. Mixed multitude, right? If it was that type of pollution, they wouldn't have got to come. You idiot. My bad. Go ahead.
You want me to start at 16?
We're still teaching a lesson. We're going as we should. You know, we almost done.
You want me to start at 16?
Huh?
You said 34:16?
34 and 16. Yeah, correct.
God, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 16. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods.
Look, it's right there. That's how you pollute the seed, first fruits. Read it again.
Con, Exodus 34 and 16. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons.
So if you go and take of their daughters to your sons, go ahead.
And their daughters go a whoring after their gods.
And their daughters go a whoring after their gods. Go ahead.
And make thy sons go a whoring after their gods.
And then they make your sons go a whoring after their gods. Right? What happened with Solomon? Since that's who was the subject. Right? First fruits. You smart duck monkey. What happened to Solomon? Solomon got with the heathen women. We're going to read about it in 1 Kings chapter 11, right? Solomon got with the heathen women. And then the heathen women, it was a woman first, then the women. But the heathen women went to their gods, went a whoring after them, right? They never were subject to the Most High. When you read it, Solomon's building them temples, right? So they were never down. We were warned about this by Moses all the way in Exodus 34, though, homie. That's how you pollute the seed. You can't pollute no seed by injecting it into a white girl. It don't matter how pasty your son come out, how blonde his hair is. He's still clean or she's still clean. What makes them unclean is the same thing that you became unclean by. You having to be washed by the water of the word. You didn't wash your skin off, you idiot. You washed your brain because it was polluted. We're reading scriptures that literally warn brothers not to get with the heathen women, not because they'll pollute your seed because your son will be nasty. No, they'll pollute him with the things they'll put in his brain. They'll pollute her with the things they'll put in her brain. That's what Exodus 34 and 16 is talking about. That's what Deuteronomy 6 is explaining that the woman's going to do. That's what 2nd Esdras 2 and 15 is explaining that the woman's going to do. Proverbs 1 and 8 and 9 explain that you should not forsake the law of your mama. Don't matter who your mama is, right? Don't matter how nasty you look after you come out your mama, right? If you got an Elamite mama and she got hair under her arms that never go away even after she get a wax, and she got the unibrow of the what's it called, the Mona Lisa, and you come out with both of those, and you a woman, you still got to listen to what your mama say, right? And if she tell you in November you can't shave your mustache and your eyebrows, that's what your daughter gonna be doing, right? Knox said, huh? I thought you was talking about a boy the whole time. Nah, that if you get with the Elamite woman, your daughter gonna be that hair. You know I ain't lying. So, I mean, that's what it is. If she tell her she can't shave in November, she not gonna shave in November.
Right.
That's what she was taught, right? So that's what the Bible is literally teaching us. I'm throwing a little humor in it, but it's literally teaching us, yo, if you get with these women, they're going to go after their gods, and then they're going to turn you after their gods. That's what Exodus 34 just told us. And then we saw it happen in the Bible, right? To the most wise king ever. A bunch of times over with a bunch of women over and over again. It didn't even stop. Like after a certain time, it just kept going. And then we see it today, right? There's no new thing under the sun. All of Solomon's kids, all you Judite niggas that love them white girls and them Elamites and them Asians and them Russians. All you Tyrese niggas be crying when they put you on child support. Like it's that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Moses, right? Good examples of heathen relationships. Moses, damn. I put Moses chapter. I'm tripping.
I seen that.
Why you ain't saying nothing? Not. Oh my goodness. I put Moses chapter. Oh man. All right, hold on. It's First Chronicles chapter 23? So First Chronicles 18 and hold on a second. My bad. Exodus 18 and 1. And then First Chronicles 23 and 14. Exodus 18 and 1. I put Moses 18 and 1.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 1. And it reads, when Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I have to address this. Bro. Deuteronomy 23 was talking about specific nations that you cleanse your bloodline with, if that was the case. Both of which we're not even dealing with in that manner like that no more. The Bible tells us after this, don't touch anything unclean. Right? So it's like, if that's your definition of cleansed in the third generation, that means any brother that done touched a white girl is done for. Because we was told after this, don't touch anything unclean. Right? So you got to make that make sense. Because if that's the case, that means we be lying when we say Hamashiach Yahushua was cleansed. Because he's got a Moabite. The Bible tells us they not even getting into the congregation, even to their 10th generation. So once again, you're wrong, First Fruits. Gotta come up with something a little better than that, buddy. Don't worry, you'll get it one day. You'll be able to come up with something that might get us. Just not today. Everything you saying somebody done said before, and we didn't have to look it up and debunk it years ago. So yeah, Exodus 18. You ain't read that yet, right? Yeah, buddy. I'm tired of Duck Monkey now. I didn't say it so many times. I'm just calling Buddy now, right?
You want me to read 1 through 4, right?
1 through. Yeah, 1 through 4.
Okay. Exodus chapter 18, starting with verse 2. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom. For he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eleazar. For the God of my father said he was mine help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. So you see Moses, he got wife and kids, and his wife is a who? A Cushite, right? Give me 1 Chronicles chapter 23 and verse 14. Read to verse 17, so we can see the result of the Cushite children. Since First Fruit says they unclean, right?
Yeah.
What did they get to do? What was their job? What were they known as? What were they considered amongst the people? Heathen, polluted, unclean, dirty, nasty, strangers,
right?
Goyim, Mamzer, huh? What was it? Or was it Levite? Lawya, Lawayam. Go ahead, read that.
God, that's the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 23, and verse 14. Now concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi.
Whoa, wait a minute. What?
God.
His sons were named of the tribe of Mamzers.
Now concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi.
Now we all saw that First Fruits of all the things he's been posting and all the scriptures he's been telling you to read out of context, right? He told us earlier in writing, or she told us, whatever it is, told us in writing in the comment section. Let me see if I can find it. I asked specifically, is Moses' seed polluted? The answer at 9:40 was emphatically yes. Right? And the answer before that was read Sirach 47. Right? Yes. So we see that the keyboardites lose again. Because why would they be polluted and then counted as Levites at the same time? The Levites being the tribe close to the Most High. The Levites being the tribe directly dealing with the Most High at this time. So much so to the fact that when brothers touched the Ark of the Covenant that weren't Levites, they went poof. Right? So you got to make it make sense, First Fruits. How we have all these caveats for these polluted people, but the Most High don't deal with polluted people now. And the Bible tells us he changeth not. Make it make sense. Why were the children of heathen women put out in Ezra 10? Oh, let's get it. That was the whole point of the lesson, you idiot. Things changed. We're going to explain to you why. It wasn't because they were polluted. It was because of what they were doing to the people, right? If you want to say they were polluting, you could say that, right? But the children they had weren't polluted in the sense that you're talking, as far as their seed or their blood or their skin or something like that. Their brains were, right? It's a good question. It was going to get answered anyway, but it's a good question, right? Had you not been asking all these dumb questions, we would have answered it already. That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? So we see Moses, right? And his kids, according to 1 Chronicles chapter 23, they are not polluted, as First Fruit said. They are actually clean and reckoned as Levites, right? When we go into the book of Ruth the Moabitess, you don't get to see the part where she does what it does or she does what it says to do in Deuteronomy 12 because she had already been married. So when it tells you that men went down to the land of Moab and they took them Moabitess women to wife, it's letting you know, you being people that are supposed to already know the law, they made those Moabitess women do what they're supposed to do. The fact that she had to go through the law of the kinsman was the fact that she was already somebody's wife. That one's a kinsman, right? So we have the law though, after or before Ruth 1:16, right? Where Ruth, says that she's going to make the Most High her God and make our people her people, right? We didn't see the people during the time of Ezra and Nehemiah doing what she did. That's the difference. That's the main reason she's in the Bible. She's a righteous example of a heathen woman that was taken to wife. The best righteous example, if you want to be honest. She literally accepted every role she had to accept in her position, even had a baby for her brother and his wife. Right? So she did everything a heathen's supposed to do. Yet, brothers choose the heathen that don't do what they're supposed to do. That's why we have the contrary, books. That's the other reason why it don't make sense that some brothers want Ruth to be an Israelite so bad, because they don't know how to teach why Christ was allowed to come from a Moabite. It's as simple as Numbers 1:18. It don't matter what your mama is. That don't determine your seed. Sirach 20:26 explained that to, or 26:20 brought that out, right? It told us you to trust in thy seed, but sow it with something that's going to magnify your race. Don't sow it with a white lady. Your kid might age faster than it's supposed to, right? Don't sow it with an Asian. It ain't going to have as good vision as it can, right? Don't sow it with an Arab or Ishmaelite. In the summertime, it's going to get hot as hell. It's going to sweat profusely, right? Like, it's reasons not to get with these people. Don't get with a Hamite. You never going to be able to comb your hair, and you might not ever grow a beard. It's reasons not to get with these people. You mess up the things that the Most High gave you. But not completely. Why? Because you can't pollute your seed. When a brother get with that white girl, he could still be 7 feet tall and dunk a basketball. He could still play in the NFL. You get with that African woman, he could still be 7'8" and go no. Right? I believe that nigga's an Israelite. Just me. But so, like, you got to understand, these are the things that can happen, right? But, Elijah want an ugly ass. I'm just saying, he ugly, right? That can happen. So it is what it is, right? Yao Ming, look at him, right? If he get with his sister, the baby gonna have some of his characteristics and his traits. It's gonna have knock knees. It might be very tall, might not live that long. So these are the things that you got to think about. And the Bible explains that. But it is in no way saying that if you get with a heathen woman, you're going to actually pollute or taint your actual seed. That's not possible. She can pollute your child mentally, right? She can cause for your kid to need a washing of the water of the word, even if you're an Israelite in the truth, because she might not be in the truth, right? She might not be a Ruth. If you don't have that, it'll be easy for her to, make you go off, like it says in Sirach 34. If she makes the father go off, you damn sure better believe that the kids are going to be doing what the father's doing, going off. Only they're taught from the age up, right? They're taught from the bottom up. So whatever they get taught in the manner of going off, it's going to be harder for them to shed that. That's how we end up with unrighteous generations, right? It was the same thing in slavery. You were raised by these people as opposed to them being your mother and father. But the same characteristics were put upon us. So we end up with unrighteous generations, right? Had they been people that actually followed the Bible, we wouldn't be as bad as we are now, because the things that we would have been taught in slavery would have still been biblical things. It would have been easy to get back to that. So it's the same concept with the woman that you're going to marry, right? All right. So that's Ruth. That's the good relationships of foreign women, right? In the Bible. Did we read Deuteronomy 21?
The last that we read was First Chronicles.
All right, read Deuteronomy 21 right quick. Just so you have it. If you're gonna get with a heathen woman, these are some of the things that you're supposed to make her do, right? And I still advise you to do this today. She might not be as attractive as you wanted to be if you're gonna do it. I don't even advise you to get with a heathen woman, first of all. Don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, or if you with one already and you coming into the truth, this is what I advise you to do to make sure that she's actually gonna follow you in the Most High, right? This is how you're gonna know if she's actually down for you. So if you already with one, you can't get away, you got children, you got a family, you know what I mean? Because there's brothers in that situation. This is what you should do before you start teaching her the Bible. All right, read that.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, and starting at verse 12. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
So look, they not under the curse of Isaiah 3. They could grow their stuff gonna grow back. I'm just saying. So don't be scared if you get, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna grow back. All right. And you Judites let them, you know, y'all like them wildebeest women. Their hair grow fast, is from what I heard. So y'all be all right. I'm just saying, Ephraim, I ain't lying. It's gonna grow back. So you know, you'll be all right. But the point is, if she not down to do that part, right? To shave the head, and what's the other part? What did it say?
God, verse 13. Oh, that's Salakia. And she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
And so if she's not willing to shave her head and pare her nails for you, meaning clip her nails, right? Because, you know, back in the day, your hair and your nails went together. I know a lot of women don't understand that now. Your nails grow with your hair, right? So they used to go together. You cut the hair and you cut the nails of the woman, and that's how that go. So if she not down to do that, and you already married to her, brothers, get you another wife. And if you're going to get you another wife and you already got a heathen, you better not get another heathen. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't care what type of Israelite sister you get, but don't do that. All right? I ain't saying you got to divorce your woman, because there's reasons to divorce. And her not paring her nails and shaving her head ain't one of them, since you already married this woman. Right? So just get you another wife. We teach that in this camp. You can do that here. All right. So, yeah. Yeah. That's that for that right there. So that's Deuteronomy 12. Okay. So now, as far as what we actually advise, this is why we don't advise for you to get with any heathen woman, right? If you're not with any right now, you're not married to none, don't have no kids. This is why we don't advise, no matter how bad the Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman gonna get in the last days, find you one that you can teach, right? Go for what they say. What's the saying? Not you a dad. I know you're gonna be saying this to your sons.
What's that?
Go for obedience, not beauty. Because it's getting to that time where it's gonna be hard to find both. Right? It's going to be possible, but hard. Right? He says, so your understanding of Sirach 26 tells you a heathen woman can magnify your race. how can a woman magnify your race, period, if the race is determined by the seed of the man?
Right.
Explain that to me, First Fruits.
Spoiled fruits. Come on, dude.
Let me ask you this. When hold up a second. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Wait. Everybody heard of Blake Griffin, right?
God.
Blake Griffin's with a white woman. I mean, well, he's with a white woman. So he's with a white woman, and his mama's a white woman, right? I was gonna talk about his mama though, because yeah, his mama's a redhead, right? Ginger. I hate those with a passion. I think they're the ugliest people on earth. No offense to anybody, because there's women in my family that got red hair, and I do think y'all so crazy looking. No offense. Anyway, so look, that just threw me off. I start thinking about family members of mine that got red hair. All right, so look, so Blake Griffin, right? He a brother with red hair. He was NBA Rookie of the Year 2011. All the brothers that watch the NBA, did that not magnify your race? He was slam dunk champion same year, 2011. 6-time NBA All-Star. For all the basketball fans, did that not magnify the race within the basketball community worldwide? I'm just saying, Rose. So I disagree. It has nothing to do with the seed, you idiot. When Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl, was niggas like, yo, he light-skinned as hell? Or was folks like, yo, he black? That's a nigga. Just won a Super Bowl. Huh? He magnified his race. Wasn't nobody worried about what his mama looked like. When Steph Curry won the NBA championship for the first time, was niggas like, damn, who's the white person in his family? Is it on his mama's side, his dad's side, or both? Because they both light-skinned as hell. That nigga got blonde hair. Or was it like, oh, he magnified his race? Look at him. Now everybody wants somebody that can shoot. Right? So I disagree. Having a baby with that white girl don't, not magnify you, because it don't have nothing to do with her. She was merely and I'm not saying this to downplay what the women do. I'm saying this for First Fruits. She was merely a incubator for the baby.
A vessel.
A vessel to carry the seed. Right? It don't have nothing to do with determining the ethnicity. Yeah, the baby gonna look like her. If she got real strong parents and her nickname Helga, he might be a strong ass nigga too, right? But it don't mean that he's Russian. You feel me? It does bring down your property value. You could say that, right? Amongst the spiritual community, right. But if you take the example I just showed you, right? Blake Griffin and Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry are not any less athletes because they got white people very close proximity to their family. They're the same as all the other niggas out there. Some of them, they're better than. So you could say it, brings down your property value. But as far as your actual stock and what I've seen, it really don't. You still a nigga. Right? So you still got all the characteristics of one. You still move like one. You still as fast as one. You still could dunk like one. You still could jump like one. It's because it's your daddy that's in you. Right? Now, when it's the opposite, you a Bart. You become a white man that can't jump. It don't matter how much chocolate you got on you. I've seen it. Yeah, I bet if Bob Marley and who was snow looking mixed dude? Damn. I don't know. Well, Blake Griffin don't look fat. If Bob Marley and Blake Griffin raced and they was both in their prime, Bob Marley way smaller, I bet he lose. Lenny Kravitz is white, so yeah. But I was
Right.
talking about somebody else to go against Bob Marley. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing. So, not the sidebar. I just wanted to bring that up as an example. I don't think, well, not I don't think. I know that your stock don't actually decrease because you got with a heathen. You know what I'm saying? Because we see you can't use the example, we the best at everything. You know, one nation shall be stronger than the other. We always bring it out, right? Jacob and Esau. And then you got niggas that are mixed with Edomites, with their mom being the Edomite, that is, right? So they have a Israelite father, right? And they're just as good as all the rest of the Israelites.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Any of the white quarterbacks or the black quarterbacks that's mixed with white daddies and black mamas, you don't really see them running the ball like that. It's one out there. I forget his name. He's a thrower. He's a pocket passer, though. And he's mixed. His daddy's the white guy. It's because he can't move like us. He look like us. He wear the hair like us and stuff like that, but he can't move like us. So that's what I'm saying. It's the opposite mixture. All the brothers you know that's, you know, like Drake moved like a white guy, but that's just because he grew up around. If he would have grew up around us the whole time and had to be competitive with us instead of being competitive with the little Jewish kid, he'd be more of an athlete. You know what I mean? Because he got it in him. So that's all. All right, now let's get we just did that. Boom, boom. All right. So did you get to Deuteronomy 7? Did you read it?
I didn't read Deuteronomy 7, no.
All right, Con, let's read that. We're gonna zoom through this. It's almost over.
Okay.
Went way longer than I said we was gonna go.
Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Wait in the world. He didn't understand nothing I said. Now he says, so selling your soul magnifies your race. What does selling your soul have anything to do with the things? What does selling your soul have anything to do with winning a dunk contest?
Yeah, this dude ain't.
Being rookie of the year. That's crazy. So everybody that make it to the league sold their soul? Y'all retarded. This how you see when niggas don't know nobody. It's crazy. Y'all just think anything.
Kevin, want me to start at what verse?
Deuteronomy 7 and 2. Read the verse 6.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 2.
So this is why we don't advise you getting with them women, right? Scripturally.
God. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, no show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
See that? So you give these people, they're going to turn you from following other gods, right? That's mainly all I wanted right there.
Yeah.
And we see through the other precepts that we brought out, I'm going to have to get back off the screen, right? The Exodus 34, and then all the scriptures that we brought out about what the women teach you, right? That this is what makes it easy for that to happen. Makes it easy for them to turn you away from the Most High, right? And he told you, if you marry these women, that's what's going to happen. But as you see here, Deuteronomy, this is the second law, right? The first time he told us that warning was Exodus 34:16, right? So we saw it. That's it. All right. Joshua 23 and 11. Because we also get this from Joshua, right? And this is all before the Ezra and Nehemiah thing happens too.
Book of Joshua, chapter 23, and verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. Verse 12. Else if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you. Verse 13. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides.
So you give it these women, you give it these women, the Most High not dealing with you no more. And when he stop dealing with you, he's not going to save you from them. Instead, he's going to let them become a scourge and a trap for you. So if you give it these women and you're not smart enough to make sure that they, equally yoked with you, because the scriptures do say that when you go and take a woman in Exodus, it tell you if you're going to go take a woman, right, you take her to marry her and stuff like that. And if she's not pleasing to you, just let her go. You have the right to do that with the heathen. You feel me? You could have just let them go. But some of y'all don't want to do that. So the Most High is saying, yo, since this is how you want to do it, he let them become a scourge and a trap for y'all. Right? So, and yeah, we'll just leave that there. So, Proverbs, yes. So Proverbs 31:3. Read this, because this is important, right? Remember what it told us, right? As far as Proverbs 1:8 and 9. Listen to what your mama told you. Don't forget the law of your mother, right? So this is something that Solomon's mother actually told him that he forgot. Right? Proverbs 31:3.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. When you give your strength to this woman, she's going to turn your ways to that which destroyeth kings, because your ways aren't going to be the ways of the Most High. It's going to be the ways of her and her people, which is what happened to Solomon, right? So the scriptures tell us in Proverbs not to forsake the law of your mother. Solomon's mother tells him, don't give your strength to a woman. And then Solomon gives his strength to women and ends up destroyed. See what happens when you disobey the law of your mother? This was the caveat, which is why Ezra and Nehemiah kicked the women out of the land to answer First Fruit's question that he didn't stick around to hear, right? Because it was a time period where we were getting with these women, and then they were doing what we just saw, what we just read, what we just heard, what happened. They come in and they turn you away from the Most High. Once that happens, what's left to do? You turned away. So that's the situation we kept ending up in. Once it happened to Solomon, it makes it easy for everybody to be turned away from the Most High. There's nobody keeping order. Right? So that's one thing. Don't give your strength to a woman. And of course, as we see, Solomon did that. Let's read that little short account real quick. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1 and 2.
Yeah. It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you.
So real quick, so people read this second part and think that all the nations there, we're talking about the nations that, we weren't supposed to be dealing with. It says of the nations, right? Meaning there were nations mentioned there of the nations we were told not to deal with. Not every single nation, right? You obviously weren't supposed to deal with a Moabite and an Ammonite if you didn't have, if you could, because you know we weren't supposed to deal with them according to them not being allowed into the congregation. But some brothers did it. So that happened. Zidonians, I believe, was one of the. No, that's Zidon. Who was the other people you just mentioned?
Edomites and the Hittites.
Hittites. Hittites were a nation in Deuteronomy 7 that we're supposed to not deal with. Right? So that's of the nations that we weren't supposed to deal with. Brothers got with women from Zidon, even though they probably shouldn't do that either, because those are basically Canaanites. So it's like, you know, that's what you got to deal with. But that's what was going on. So, all right, we got that. Proverbs 3. We got Solomon. So we see that Solomon just went off, right? He cleaved into a bunch of foreign women, and they made him go off. Another reason why you don't want to do that, because you know what we saw in Exodus 34 and 16 is going to happen. So now to show you guys the result of things like what they told us and warned us about in Exodus 34 and Deuteronomy, right? So let's get Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23, and then we'll get Ezra. These would be the scriptures that you'd want to bring out when you're talking about the other nations that we're not supposed to deal with, right? Because Esau is going to be included in this conversation. Edomites had their own language at this time, right? They weren't really speaking Hebrew like that amongst each other. So they're not talking to the Most High. They definitely have their own gods. They're not, you know, praying to Yahweh. So that's something to keep in mind too, right? You can use this for the Edomites or any other people that you want to use that's not mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 7. You can use Nehemiah chapter 13 and Ezra chapter 9 and other precepts that we brought out. But Deuteronomy 7 is only for the specific nations mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 7. Go ahead.
That's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
You see that? So this is that type of situation, right? Nehemiah's slapping them, you know, plucking their beards out, all type of different stuff to let he that's my type of brother right there. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff I would do. Slap the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? But yeah, so he's beating people up literally because he's in the mindset of, y'all aren't supposed to be dealing with these women, and they're literally teaching you guys not to really be able to deal with the Most High. You can't even speak to him. You can't even pray in your own tongue, right? That's what he's getting into. So the fact that they can't even pray to the Most High is like, yo, like, what are y'all doing? We have a language that he gave us, Lashawan Kodash, a holy tongue, and y'all ain't even teaching y'all kids to speak this, and we're in our own land. What's up with this? Every other nation of people could speak their own language in their own land, but we can't. What's he talking about?
What?
According to him, Israelite women have no purpose, since any woman can be a... When did I say Israelite women have no purpose? Y'all got me on camera, so just explain to me when I said that. Dominic, since you seem to be on his side now. When I said that? LOL.
Right.
What I said was the Israelite mamas don't determine your ethnicity. If they do, book, chapter, verse. Post it right now, both of you. Now you're both duck monkeys. If the women determine pedigree, show me the scripture that explains that.
Right.
If the women determine pedigree and they have a certain strength, why is Solomon's mama telling them not to give his strength to a woman? When y'all can determine and deliver that answer, I'll be here. All right. Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 and 2.
Oh, sorry.
What does Shishan and Jerah have to do with the ethnicity of a child, Dominic? You're telling me that verse is saying that the woman determined the ethnicity of the child? That's what you're telling me, Dominic, right there? You're telling me Shishan and Jahar. Are you telling me Shishan and Jara has something to do with a woman being able to determine the pedigree of a child and not the father solely? That's what you're saying. I know Dex, but I'm trying to figure out what they talking about. Because apparently they said I have a false doctrine. I'm asking this very specific question that my doctrine's been about all day long. Only thing in reference I've said to the woman is that they don't determine the pedigree. I didn't say there's no use for them. Otherwise, there would be no reason to have kids. You need a woman for that, you idiots. Lord have mercy. So, okay, we're gonna get back into that.
Right.
Can you give me Ezra chapter 9?
God. It's the book of Ezra, chapter 9, starting from the top. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass.
My bad. Hold on just a second. So I'm getting a verse together to disprove him, who to show him who Ishi is and everything. Shishan's daddy. All right. But give me my bad. Read that again. I didn't break that down. Let me read that.
John, this is 1 and 2. John, this is the book of Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass.
So as you see, there was a trespass going on, right? Obviously the trespass is us getting with the heathen women. So there's a situation in Nehemiah and in Ezra where we're having to deal with these, well, not having, but we're choosing to deal with these heathen women, and they're leading us into idolatry, as we see the scriptures were telling us it was going to happen before, right? So that's what happened. They led us into idolatry, and a bunch of us went off and became idols, right? Or into idol worship. And it happened with Solomon, right, who was the wisest king we had at the time. And they basically were using him as an example for the people. So, yeah. And Ezra was explaining to them. Nehemiah was explaining to them, you know what I'm saying? These are the type of things that we saw happen. These are the things Moses warned us of. And y'all are, you know, letting it happen right now in front of your face, in front of everybody. So, that's that. Tobit 4 and 12. So this is why by the time we get here, right? Nehemiah, Ezra, we go from speaking about, you know, specific heathen that we can't get with while Moses is with the heathen, right? Other brothers are dibbling and dallying and that type of stuff, but still keeping it righteous to an extent, like we see with Ruth. And then it gets worse when Solomon comes on the scene, right? And as the king, so will do the people, right? So once the king start going off, getting with a bunch of heathen, all the dudes that was in the kingdom that had heathen women, they women just start naturally doing what the king's women were doing. So whatever type of power they were able to show themselves to have, same thing was happening with the brothers down low, right? As I told you. So that was that. Tobit 4 and 12. Go ahead.
Con, it's the book of Tobit, chapter 4, starting at verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart that thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine.
Mm-hmm. So look. Oh man. The brother said that Shishan himself was a brother that, you know, because the question was, can a child's ethnicity be determined by, you know, them being an Israelite, right? Shishan himself was the chief of Judah. Shishan was an Israelite. He's not the son of an Egyptian, right? Shishan, huh? There's Ishi, right? Who was a Judite. We have a chief of Judah, right? Whose family was sustained in the tribe by his daughter's marriage to his Egyptian servant. You understand? So Shishan wasn't an Israelite by an Egyptian father, fool. Right? Since it was that serious, Shishan's Egyptian servant was the one, right? So, yeah, I'm not saying Zabad. I'm talking about Shishan. That's who you mentioned, right? Shishan was an Israelite, yes. Shishan didn't have an Egyptian father. Shishan's daughter was given to an Egyptian because Shishan didn't have any sons. That's how he had his line be, progressed. That doesn't mean they was given Israelite heritage, so to speak.
Right.
They were given whatever inheritance he had himself. Anything after that was Egyptian inheritance that went down to their family. It wasn't connected to Israel.
Right.
You said, and it's in writing in the comment section, you said that Shishan was an Israelite with an Egyptian father. That's wrong. Shishan was an Israelite. His grandson had an Egyptian father, Zabad. Zabad did not get inheritance with Israelites. Zabad got Egyptian inheritance. That's the facts. So that's that. The girl that was given to the Egyptian, she was not born of an Egyptian. She herself was an Israelite. That's how she was able to carry his lineage. She had to be the one to carry the lineage because what? She's the only person that he was able to give. That doesn't mean she determined the seed. Shishan's grandson wasn't, it never says Shishan's grandson was called Israelite. It said he was given to an Egyptian servant. Shishan's lineage ran through his daughter until his daughter wasn't the daughter no more. After that, it goes through the Egyptians. I don't know how that's hard for you to understand. That's why it don't mention the lineage after Zabad. It don't talk about his sons or his son's sons or his son's son's sons like it does everybody else in the Bible. Right? Because it's giving you emphasis and showing you how his lineage stopped with the daughter. Yeah, she carried the lineage. Did it carry anywhere in Israel after that? No, not in Israel. She carried Shishan's lineage to the Egyptian. They had Zabad, and then it stopped for Israel with Zabad. That's why you don't hear nothing about Zabad after that. Where does it say Zabad had Israelite inheritance? It doesn't say that he had Egyptian inheritance. It's supposed to be, it's common sense. You get the inheritance of your father. The only reason his mother had anything to do with Egypt, with Israelite inheritance is because she had no brothers or siblings. She was an only child. Naturally, anything her father had is going to go to her. It's common sense. That's what it means by the lineage. Is that hard to understand, Knock? Did I just make that up? You on mute.
No, it's not hard at all, but it's hard for them. And it made plenty of sense.
No, Carlos, rewind. We talking about First Chronicles chapter 2.
Right.
So, but yeah, this is crazy, man. All right. Anyway, we didn't got sidetracked trying to teach these dudes that don't know the Bible. It's wild. I'm gonna be here all night doing this with them. Okay, so read Tobit 4 and 12 one more time.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and starting in verse 12.
It's crazy. Y'all see it on writing. Y'all see him and the first fruits dude try to team up and say Shishan and Jara, right? I ain't even gonna get into Jara because he's wrong about that too. but right, Jara was an Egyptian servant. So we have but Shishan, right? Shishan wasn't Shishan isn't related to Jara. Okay? Shishan's related to the girl, the woman. Right? So you have an Egyptian servant and you have the daughter, right? Who is an Israelite. You got Shishan, right? Shishan has the daughter, has no other children. If Shishan got a house, who's his house going to go to? Right. The daughter, right? Everything in the house goes to the daughter. All of the house of Shishan goes to the daughter. So when it says lineage, that's what it's talking about. It's not saying she can determine the pedigree of the child. After it tells you the name of Zabad, we don't hear nothing else about him or his lineage no more because he was Egyptian.
Right.
It's simple. It never will. It never will. And what's crazy, HEC Red Pill, it don't even give a list of lineages for them. It just tells you the story because the brother only had one kid and it was a girl.
Right.
Like, that's it. And he gave the girl to a servant instead of giving her to an Israelite. So it's giving you the story to tell you what was going to happen in that situation. It's a situational story. We ain't giving our kids to no servants. We don't have none. So it ain't a story we have to worry about right now. But it was to give you an example back in the day, what you're supposed to do. If you got a servant, you ain't got no Israelites to give your daughter to, what's going to happen? Eventually, everything you gave to that daughter ain't going to be with that daughter no more because it's going to go to her husband's seed. his family's going to get whatever you gave to her at some point. Bro, King David had a bunch of heathen in his army. It tells you that in the book of Chronicles, the same book that we're reading here. When you read First Chronicles and Second Chronicles, what's it? First Chronicles 11, where it talks about the mighty men. First Chronicles 9, 10, 11, and 12. There's verses in there where it gives you just the heathen, right? I believe Zabad might be mentioned in there, where it gives you people not of the Israelite nation that were mighty men. You have to understand David had advisors of different nations. Just because it calls you a valiant man doesn't mean you were an Israelite of the mighty men of David's army. Because it tells you verbatim by name men that weren't of David's army that were still listed as mighty men. In the same book we're talking about, Chronicles, the Chronicles of the Kings.
Right.
That's what this is. Any king that had a mighty freaking slave that was a heathen, the slave got wrote in the book. Duh. That don't make you an Israelite. That don't mean you had Israelite lineage. It tells you verbatim who they are. Go read it. First Chronicles 9, 10, 11, 12. Mighty Men chapters. All right. Goodness gracious. One moment y'all are with us, y'all mess with the channel. The next moment y'all turn in the keyboard lights and don't know what y'all talking about. One day I'm gonna do a lesson on that, and you ain't even gotta apologize once you see it and you realize you was wrong. I'm gonna just replay this video so everybody can see it. Second Chronicles chapter 6 verse 14. Chronicles, Second Corinthians, my bad, chapter 6 verse 14. And now he done changed and moved the goalpost to Cornelius. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens.
Oh, I tell you.
Yes, Cornelius is an Israelite, by the way.
Right.
We have a great lesson on the channel about it.
This is the book of Second Corinthians chapter 6, and we're going to be starting at verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
So look, I ain't gonna say you shouldn't be trying to get with any heathen nowadays, right? So naturally they're gonna be unbelievers. They're not gonna believe everything you believe. So at some point in their life, they thought or they think that they're going to the kingdom of heaven to be in rulership, right? So they naturally don't believe what you believe. You trying to yoke yourself up in a situation with somebody like that it's gonna make it hard for you, right? So that's something to think about too when you decide to get with these foreign people. And Dominic, by the way, if you watched our Greek lesson, you would know it's impossible for him not to be an Israelite.
Right.
If you know anything about the Italian band that he was with, if you know anything about the Lacedaemonians, if you know anything about the Spartans and the connection to Greece and Venice, Italy, then you would know that it's impossible for him to be anything but an Israelite. But was that it on that? Unequally yoked with unbelievers? Yeah, that's all you got to read on it. That's all I need. Let's get to Sirach chapter 26 one more time for the one time before we close it out.
It's the book of Sirach chapter 26, starting at verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent.
My bad. Say what you said again. I was reading the text message.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, and verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy
right.
race.
So trust in the goodness of your stock. Hey, Dominic, the reason it's talking about sowing with your seed, The book of Hosea is not talking about Israelite women making children with heathens. It's talking about Israelite men making children with heathens. The Bible doesn't emphasize women, period. If you want to be honest, he put the mark on the men that sigh and cry, right? Woman gets included in the thing that the man is included in. We don't mention what's under the head. We mention the head. We talk about the face, right? According to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the woman has a head and it's the man. So we're not going to mention the women. We're going to mention the men. So the book of Hosea is not talking about women doing anything. If they were to mix with heathen, then those children wouldn't be Israelites. So it would be no reason to even talk about them. Smarty pants. So it's clearly talking about Israelite people, right? Because if you're a heathen, you can't come back to the law. So it's no reason to talk to you, right? Hosea 4 and 6 being destroyed for a lack of knowledge wouldn't be talking about women that had children, because they children can't undestroy themselves. They're forever destroyed. They're heathen. Okay? But if you're a man and you get with a heathen woman, since your seed can't be polluted, as we just read in Sirach 26, you should trust in thy seed, right? That being the case, don't matter what you put it in, it's still your seed. It's telling you choose something that's going to magnify your race, right? So that's that. You know what magnifies your race? Your people. So that's that. I ain't got enough. You want to read Daniel 7 and 8? 7 and 18?
Yeah, before
But yeah, man, you know, some of y'all need to pipe down a little bit. Y'all be cool, and then a brother say something that you thought was right, and then both of y'all look stupid. It's not cool. He said it might not be fair to ask question. She came in late, but no, I'm not saying that. You can marry heathen women. It's not advised. And if you are going to do it, make sure it's not a woman from Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Right.
And if you are going to do it, make sure you make her do what Deuteronomy 21 and 12 says, right? She got to shave her head. She got to clip them nails. You know, she got to do what Ruth did in Ruth 1 and 16. Say that her God is your God and your people, her people. Right? So, how do you magnify your race in Sirach 26? I just said it, like the whole lesson. Yeah, I underbar, Carlos. And if you already with a woman of another race, a heathen, make her do those things as she, you know, as you trying to wake her up. If she don't want to do those things, let her go and go get you a sister. You're allowed to do that. The Bible says if you take you a wife of a woman of the nations, right, and she doesn't please you, let her ass go. It don't say her ass, but it say, you know, let her go. So that's that. Go ahead and do that if it don't work out for you. But I advise if you do choose and you could choose a non-heathen, please go for the sister instead. It's not good. Yeah, the people that told you we needed to be in war for that didn't really know what they was talking about, because Moses wasn't in war when he married the Cushite woman. Was he? Was Solomon in war as the king of the world when he's marrying all the heathen? Was David in war when he's taking concubines and stuff like that after he's defeated everybody? And he ain't dealing with the first wife no more for screaming at him when he came back with the ark and stuff. I know he got 6 women after that, right? So, yeah, just things to think about. Now, to answer the question for first fruits before we get up out of here, the way you magnify your race, once again, right?
I can read it again, but
yeah, that's the reason I brought this out today, Carlos, because it doesn't get brought out a lot, you know. You got to be honest with it. And brothers like to use scriptures to say it shouldn't be done, which it shouldn't be. I agree, it shouldn't be. But they use the wrong scriptures, which is why we did the lesson to show you the right scriptures to use to say why you shouldn't do it. But yeah. So the way you magnify your race, first fruit, is one, having a baby. Doesn't matter the type of woman, as long as it's a woman. Right? Two, the way it would be magnified the most is by having it with an Israelite woman. But I don't know if you ever looked through what's called a microscope, right? There's different levels of magnification, you duck monkey. Since that's the word they used, right? Magnify isn't just a use all, be all, buy all. Right? There's levels to this thing. First fruits. So you can magnify a little bit or you can magnify a lot. The point is, if you an Israelite, the moment you put your seed in something, ding, it's magnified. If it's a heathen, you made her greater. If it's an Israelite woman, she did what she was meant to do. Bring a king into the world. If you got a heathen, you gave her a job she wasn't meant for, but she's magnified. Is it going to be, 2,500% magnification? No, you might got 50%, but it is what it is. It's still magnified. It ain't as powerful, right? So that's the thing, but it's still magnified. Hey, real talk, Aharon, because brothers be, now they could have a baby with a man or something like that. I don't know how they're doing it, but I heard it's possible now somehow. Or I don't know if it's the man, if the man's a trainee or whatever. I don't know. I ain't looking into it either. But they talking about it, right? So I had to say it like that. Just make sure it's a woman. Your race gonna be magnified as soon as the baby come out. As long as it ain't stillborn, as long as it don't have no, deformities, anything like that, you magnified your race. So, what's unlawful, Carlos?
What is he saying is unlawful?
Getting with somebody that's not a woman, for sure. Yeah, we know that. We ain't dealing with that. But I live in Atlanta, so I have to make it clear, for everybody. Because out here, even the dudes in the truth be doing wild stuff. Believe me, I've seen it. So, yeah. Had to make it known for everybody. Even though it's unlawful, people don't really follow the law. So, and it's a lot of brews in Atlanta. You'd be surprised. A lot of us out here. So you got to make it. Yeah, this is Atlanta. Aharon know about it. He got a video coming out soon, or it's already out, ain't it? Of what we just saw a couple weeks ago. Y'all should see it. It's gonna be two big old white dudes with makeup on and Halloween costumes dressed up as women, right? And when we asked them, I don't even remember what we asked them, but they forgot to put their girl voice on and it scared the hell out of me. Like I legit jumped, like, damn, it scared me because I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, so that's why I gotta say it. Make sure it's a woman. Sometimes they look like women. All right, y'all ready? You ready?
God, I'm gonna go ahead and give shout outs to those that came in real quick since I did try to keep track here.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said they was men part-time.
That's wild. That's really wild.
Yeah, Kano said, "Hey, are you guys men?" And one of them said, "Haha, part-time." It was like, "Oh hell,
wild, man, that's wild." But all praises for the lesson. Hope everyone got something out of that and was edified. But as always, you can come back to these classes because they're recorded. You can come back and go over them again with your family. So all praises for that. Let me give shout out to those who came in after class started. I didn't see you post anything in the chat. So I want to give a shout out to Ramonica Wade, Sister Ramonica Wade, Sister L, to Officer Casadia, Shalom, Sister Josefina, Shalom, to Dominic Doulos, shalom to you, brother. To the mighty Captain Aharon, shalom. To Aaron J, shalom. World Without End, shalom. They Not Like Us, shalom. Ephraim, shalom to you. Shalom to Dex Israel. Soldier Yaiquab, shalom to Carlos Wilson. And shalom to HCE Red Pill Reality. Red Pill Reality. And I'm going to say shalom to First Fruits, too. I guess I add you on in there since you been chatting this all up tonight. All right, so hey, before we go, I want to give an announcement to any brothers out there who are wanting to put their brick in with the Anointed House of Saints. If you want to do the work of the Lord with the Anointed House of Saints, please send us your request through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, put prospect phase. We'll get that information to you as soon as we get the next phase. They'll be coming right around the corner. Also, just know that we have Feast of Dedication that will be coming up December 26th. This will be taking place in Greensboro, North Carolina, at Anointed House of Saints School in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. This will be taking place December 26th. Any people, brothers or sisters who want to attend, let us know. Send us an email, anointedhos@gmail.com, for more information on that. Let's see what else we have. Also, be looking forward to classes throughout the week. We have our Torah portion Thursdays with Captain Yonatan. We have our Sabbath morning brew with Captain Aharon. We have Friday night Bible study, prayer call with our congregation. Congregation should know about that. That's pretty much Friday nights at around 9 p.m. And then we're back here again on Milk Monday. So we hope to see you again next week. Before we go, let me go ahead and get Daniel 7:18.
Hold on, before you read that, I gotta read this one more time. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, right? So now, first fruits, the part about the woman is gone, right? It's got a comma. I know niggas don't know nothing about grammar, right? We didn't pay attention in language arts when we was young, so when they see the comma, they don't know what that means. It's now about to kind of change the subject matter in the same sentence, right? So it says, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, that's the woman. It don't say a type of fruitful possession. It don't say a fruitful possession of thy kind, right? No, nigga. It says a fruitful possession through all the field, meaning in all the land. If it could bear fruit and you find it, do what? Sow it with thine own seed. Put your seed in it, nigga. That's what it means. That's what it's saying. It's clear. All right, I'm done.
God. Let's go ahead and close out. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. And it reads, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. That's right. And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Hey, I like this class. I enjoyed this class tonight. I hope everyone else did. Again, the class was, what was the class again? Can you marry the heathens?
Can you marry heathen?
Right? Ill-advised or forbidden. I hope you got some
ill-advised.
Ill-advised, right.
But it ain't forbidden unless it's Deuteronomy 7.
There you go.
But it's still ill-advised.
All right.
I don't advise you.
So if you don't have anything else, Captain, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. This is another Milk Monday. We hope to see you back next Monday, but we will see you on Torah Portion Thursday. Until then, Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black